Okay, people. So it's been a minute since we checked out a Small Monsters production, but thanks to my boy Justin, I just watched On the Trail of Bigfoot, Land of the Missing. So, yeah, like the previous ones, this was written and directed by Seth Breedlove. Um, Yeah, Heather Moser produces, and we've got Courtney Sweetheart and Andy Maztek on cinematography. Now, it features a swathe of Bigfoot researchers, like local residents, and other people talking. So we have Jerry Lopez, Ellie Watson, Cliff Barackman, Alexander Petakov, Norm Soley, Will Wagner, Rob Roy Menzies, Heidi Worley, Shane Land, Jason Brown, Elizabeth Cook, Fred Ruel, Louise Jones, Dustin Aria, Michael Thompson, Shandy Knight, Jesse Desmond, Jonathan Dewar. Yeah, they were all giving, I think it's a mix of different things, different kind of recounts and the like, right? So the gist of this new documentary is this. Centuries of reports of hair-covered creatures roaming Alaska have been uncovered. Yet, beyond the mysteries, ape-like animals that haunt the forests of the 49th state, there exist numerous legends of horrific beings that blur the line between Bigfoot and something else. Something with a far darker agenda. Now, eyewitnesses and experts alike recount stories that will chill you to your bone. Stories that tie Bigfoot-like creatures to tales of mountain giants and even missing people. So, yeah, there you go. Now, I'm like, yo, Bigfoot is kind of fun. You know what I mean? We've covered, I think there was another Small Monsters documentary about Bigfoot last year, if I remember correctly. And there was also a film during one of the festivals. It may have been one of the Sci-Fi Londons that was like this sci-fi thing about Bigfoot. We've definitely looked at a few things about this big fairy. What's that other term? Swashback? No, swishback, swash, kush, squash cat, Sasquatch. That's it. Yo, I mean, yeah. So it's a fun story. Now, this starts with Seth going to Alaska, renting a little cottage just for a few days, right? And him saying that, he set cameras up, didn't see anything, but he did hear weird noises. Like it sounded like, I think he said a kid crying and childlike voices kind of thing, moans and whatnot. So then the rest of these people came and then they, did more research, more shooting, all the like. And so, they meet with a number of different people that give their eyewitness accounts, talks about a family member that saw something, or, they talk about someone that had gone missing in the town, in the area, and just all of these different things. Now, I think what he does do, I don't know if I noticed as much in some of the other docs, but he definitely doesn't come at this with "I believe everything," right? He'll be talking about, I think that I'm a little skeptical about it, right? And that doesn't quite work. I mean, that or that one, that could be true. Who knows? So he's a but definitely oh, I can't think of the frigging word, man. But he's not jumping on every kind of iteration and being like, yo, this is it. This is the evidence. And I appreciated that. Especially because I think there's people that are talking about all of these missing people and the fact that Bigfoot, like there's loads of people that will be like, yeah, Bigfoot took all of these people. But, you know, then, when they're talking about it and looking at it rationally, it's just like, if Bigfoot took all of these people, there would be evidence. Like there would be something. And there's just nothing. Which is one of the big things here. There's everyone that gives an eyewitness account or retelling. There's never any evidence, right? Never any on photos. Right? There's a one where people said that they found all these dead bodies of animals, even an orca. Like, how could an orca be inland, right? But then also, why would Bigfoot carry an orca from the sea all the way inland? But there's no photos. These people never take photos, which are always like, how are you not taking photos? There's also, I kind of think, if you're going hiking, exploring, you're taking a camera. And people now with phones, everyone's got a camera on their phone. So that's always an issue. It's always an issue, right? I think one big thing about the childlike voices that Seth heard at the beginning is we do know there's animals that can howl and it sounds so creepy. It sounds like it is human. There was a weird looking bird. Oh my god! And when I say it was freaky. I feel it was from the Amazon, and it makes this scream, but it sounded like a woman screaming. I mean, it sounded like a woman in peril scream. It was the freakiest fucking thing. So we know there's animals that do that, right? So I would, and maybe I'm wrong, but that would be my first assumption, right? That would be my first assumption. Not that are there kids out there? Can Bigfoot mimic it? Like I'm just thinking it's an animal that sounds like a kid or sounds like a human. That's my first big thing with that. Also, when you think about this, right? There's bears, right? And we know there's so many predators in Alaska. Bear, right? You're seeing it at night. You're not being able to see this clearly. It could be a bear. And that's the other thing with people going missing, because bears, wolves, all of these things will eat you and eat you, without because it's cold as fuck, right? These animals have to eat. Because that's another big thing. There probably wouldn't be as many bears or anything like if there's Bigfoot. As it was mentioned, right? Something that size would have to eat a lot to, function, to keep warm, to, be able to live. So you'd think it would kind of decimate all other life in that area. So when people go missing, maybe it's not Bigfoot. Maybe their asses got eat, right? That's where I'm going. Now, what was really interesting was in talking about Bigfoot, Then you get people talking about alien sightings, right? Which definitely, right? There was a girl who was talking to me like, yeah, no, I think it could be Bigfoot. But also, I'm a big alien researcher as well. I'm really just like, okay, okay, yeah, you are. But yeah, people talking about those. And then little people. I have never heard of little people in the same conversation as Bigfoot, which was interesting. Which was interesting, you know? Now, when you think about places like Sentinel Island, because, I think they always talking about Bushmen as well. And they're like, Bushmen aren't, Bushmen are just indigenous tribes, right? So if you're thinking about indigenous tribes that have been there for centuries, they're going to be hairy. It's Alaska, right? It's like people that are born closer to the equator have darker skin, more melanin. So anyone living in a cold place, you're going to probably have more hair to stay warm, right? So there's all of these different things that could speak to this. But it is intriguing. It is intriguing, right? They talked about Fort Chatham and how that was abandoned in the 40s, supposedly because a load of different Bigfoots were coming down and just snatching and eating, just terrorizing people. We hear stories like that, stories of a little boy called Billy going missing, so many things. So whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, this is entertaining. It's definitely entertaining because you can just watch these people and think, do I believe this one? Does this person seem reliable? It's fun. It's definitely fun. I think this is one of my favorite small monsters productions this far. I mean, the Mothman one was good. The Skinwalker one was creepy as fuck, right? But no, I enjoyed the hell out of this one. So it will be out on the 22nd, right? You can get it on all of your streaming platforms. You can own it on DVD. Now, if you want the Blu-ray, that's exclusive to the Small Monsters website. So yeah, you will need to go there. Well, I keep on saying it's Small Town Monsters, people. So if you go to the Small Town Monsters website, we've got the link on the website, right? You will be able to get yourself a Blu-ray of this. So yeah, mark it on the calendars, the 22nd of August, right? For a little Sasquatch action on the trail of Bigfoot, land of the missing. Oh, people, is it true or is this hogwash? Who knows? You watch and you decide.